A gust of wind swept through the alley, carrying with it the faint echoes of laughter that felt eerily detached from their current reality. Mary shuddered, her imagination spiraling as she recalled stories of restless spirits haunting these very streets. "Do you hear that?" she whispered, her voice barely a thread against the weight of their fear. Elizabeth paused, tilting her head to listen more intently. The laughter was ghostly, teasing, reminiscent of carefree days now overshadowed by their plight. "It's just the night playing tricks on us," she reassured, though her heart raced at the thought that perhaps the darkness was more alive than they had anticipated. Undeterred, she tugged on Mary's hand, reinforcing their bond as they pressed on, determined to silence the haunting sounds with their footsteps. "Stay focused. We're almost there," she urged, her eyes glued to the welcoming glow ahead, an anchor against the shifting shadows surrounding them. The flickering light pulsed like a heartbeat, urging them to move faster as the laughter faded into a chilling echo. "What if we're not supposed to be here?" Mary wondered aloud, her voice trembling with the weight of apprehension. Elizabeth squared her shoulders, drawing strength from the bond they shared. "We belong here, just as much as anyone else," she replied firmly, refusing to give in to the darkness that sought to envelop them. "Let's keep going, we have to trust in each other." They quickened their pace, the walls of the alley appearing to close in like a trap, testing their resolve. Each footstep became a defiant proclamation against the night, a testament to the courage they conjured within their hearts. "Just a little further," Elizabeth encouraged, her voice a melody of hope amid the sinister whispers that played around them. As they neared the gaslight, its warmth beckoned them, creating a sanctuary against their fears, promising liberation from the shadows that loomed large. As they continued toward the light, each flicker of the gas lamp seemed to whisper secrets of safety, momentarily drowning out the unsettling laughter that had haunted them moments before. "What if we find something worse than darkness?" Mary asked, her anxiety clawing at her throat, but Elizabeth squeezed her hand tighter, grounding them both. "We won't let fear decide our fate. We'll face whatever comes together," she promised, her voice steadying like the flame guiding their way. The walls of the alley appeared to soften, their oppressive confinement less threatening as long as the light remained in sight. "Look, we're almost there," Elizabeth pointed out, urgency igniting their resolve. The gaslight ahead flickered in tandem with their racing hearts, illuminating the way forward and pushing back the shadows that threatened to consume them. With every step, their determination swelled, each stride echoing a vow that said they would not be claimed by the night. As they reached the gaslight, the warmth enveloped them like an embrace, a sanctuary in the midst of chaos. Taking a moment to catch their breaths, Mary glanced back into the shadows, where the emptiness loomed. "What if he was right?" she said, the tremor in her voice returning, uncertainty creeping back. Elizabeth shook her head, resolute. "We have to move forward, we can't let those fears chain us to the past," she urged, her eyes glimmering with determination. "The darkness is daunting, but remember, we have each other." They shared a moment of silence, letting the familiar bond between them fortify their resolve. "We will keep walking, one step at a time," Elizabeth declared, leading Mary toward the path illuminated by the flickering gaslight, which now stood tall against the night. With their hearts synchronized in purpose, they took that crucial step forward into their shared future, ready to confront whatever lay ahead together. As they ventured forward, the gaslight cast elongated shadows that danced ominously along the cobblestones, and Mary steeled herself against the chill of fear creeping back in. "I can't shake this feeling, Elizabeth," she confessed, her voice wavering with vulnerability. "What if something worse than fear lies just beyond the light?" Elizabeth's heart sank at her sister's words, but she knew they couldn't waver now. "We've come too far to turn back," she replied, drawing closer, her voice a soothing balm against the uncertainty. "Stay with me, and remember why we're here: sisterhood, safety, our future." With renewed purpose, they pressed onward, the gaslight illuminating their path toward a world renewed with possibility, far from the shackles of fear plaguing their hearts. As they embraced the light, They fueled each other's courage, refusing to let the darkness dim their spirits again. Mary and Elizabeth edged closer, the gaslight pulsating with an inviting warmth that offered a glimmer of protection. Just beyond the light, shadows contorted and morphed against the cobblestones, twisting into shapes that threatened to burgeon with menace. "I can't help but think of what lies in the dark," Mary murmured, her breath misting in the chill of the night. "It's almost like the night itself is alive." Elizabeth shot her a look that was both reassuring and fierce, a blend of courage fueled by their shared plight. "We stand together against that uncertainty," she declared, her voice rising with conviction. "Our light is stronger when we refuse to be afraid." With those words echoing in her heart, Mary focused on the flickering gaslight as they put one foot in front of the other, ready to confront whatever awaited them on this treacherous path of hope and resilience. As they stepped into the warm glow of the gaslight, the world around them transformed. The shadows seemed to retreat, shrinking back into the corners from whence they came. "We did it," Mary breathed, her voice trembling with disbelief as she felt the weight of their fears begin to lift. Elizabeth smiled broadly, relief washing over her like a wave breaking upon the shore. "Yes, we're safe for now," she replied, her heart swelling with pride for their tenacity. Yet, as they lingered in the light, both sisters knew this was merely a pause amid the greater journey ahead. Taking a deep breath, Elizabeth tightened her grip on Mary's hand, ready to step back into the world and forge ahead into the dawn that awaited them, knowing their bond would guide them through whatever lay beyond. As they stood beneath the glow of the gaslight, a shared breath of hope filled the space between them. Elizabeth studied Mary's face, the flicker of uncertainty still present but beginning to wane. "Let's make a promise," she said, determination etching itself into her tone. "No matter what happens, we'll face it together. We won't let fear dictate our path." Mary looked deep into her sister's eyes, the sincerity of Elizabeth's words resonating within her. "I promise," she replied, a newfound resolve igniting within her. With their hands tightly intertwined, they stepped away from the sanctuary of the gaslight, venturing back into the uncertainty that lay ahead. The fog swirled around them, but each heartbeat resonated with unity, a reminder of their unwavering sisterhood as they embarked onto the darkened street, ready to reclaim their lives from the shadows that had been so determined to loom over them. A sudden rustling erupted from the shadows again, prompting Mary to halt, fear washing over her like a wave. "What if that man was right?" she whispered shakily, her wide eyes scanning the dark recesses where remnants of fear lingered. Elizabeth's gaze remained fixed ahead, though a tremor echoed through her heart at the thought. "We can't afford to lose hope now," she replied, forcing calmness into her voice, though her own doubts stirred beneath the surface. "Whatever is lurking in the dark can only reach us if we let it." She took a deep breath, searching for the strength to reconcile her fears while clinging tightly to the warmth of the flickering gaslight that still guided their path. "We must keep moving, Mary, we can't let fear steal our light," she insisted, her words infused with the urgency of their situation. Mary nodded, a determination igniting as she tightened her hold, feeling the sisterly bond as a shield against the looming uncertainty. Together, they took a step forward, embodying an unwavering spirit in the face of frightful shadows. As they pressed deeper into the darkened streets, the air thickened with an uneasy tension, every rustle sparking echoes of dread. "Do you think we'll ever feel safe again?" Mary broke the silence, her voice a tremor against the stillness, revealing the weight of the world on her shoulders. Elizabeth glanced sideways at her sister, steeling her resolve. "We will find our way, Mary. This darkness cannot last forever," she replied, her heart thumping with a mix of determination and lingering fear. The gaslight flickered behind them, a fading reminder of safety, yet ahead lay the unknown, a chilling reminder of all they had faced. "Just remember, we're not alone," Elizabeth continued, squeezing Mary's hand tightly. As they ventured onward, their feet echoed with a rhythm of hope against the cobblestones, signaling their defiance against the shadows threatening to swallow them whole. As they pressed on, the darker corners of the alley loomed larger, each step further blurring the line between what was real and what was born from their fears. A low thrum reverberated through the air, sending chills racing down Mary's spine. "Did you hear that?" she gasped, suddenly stopping. Elizabeth paused as well, her heart pounding in her chest, focusing on the sound that now seemed to pulse like a warning. "It's just the night," she reassured, her voice steadier than she felt. "We've faced so much already, we can't let this fear consume us." Determination washed over her, and she turned to face Mary, praying her strength would be enough to anchor them both. "We keep moving forward, together." A flicker of uncertainty passed across Mary's face, but she nodded, the resolve of sisterhood intertwining with the shadows swirling around them. As they pressed forward, the air thickened with the unmistakable aroma of damp earth and decaying leaves. The sounds of the night grew louder, mingling with their breath, as if each step awakened secrets buried within the cobblestones. "Do you think it will ever be easy again?" Mary pondered, her voice murky with longing for brighter days. Elizabeth felt the weight of her sister's inquiry, stirring a mixture of hope and fear deep within her. "We must create our own ease," she responded, glancing into the tendrils of shadow that curled at the edges of their vision. "Together, we're stronger than any lurking fear." With that steadfast reminder, they quickened their pace, hearts synchronized as they forged ahead through the chilling night, determined to carve light from darkness. As they pushed forward, the darkness thickened, wrapping around them like an oppressive cloak. Each heartbeat syncopated with their footsteps, a rhythmic reminder of their resilience overshadowed by the chilling uncertainties ahead. "What if we are meant to face something worse?" Mary whispered, her breath catching in her throat as trepidation laced her words. Elizabeth shot her a determined glance, knowing that they were on the brink of reclaiming their power. "We won't allow fear to steer our fate," she replied firmly, her resolve like steel against the night that sought to bend them to despair. "Let's keep our eyes on the flickering light ahead, it's our symbol of hope." Mary nodded, determined to resist the dread swirling like mist in her mind. Together, they advanced, each step imbued with the strength of their sisterhood, creating a compass that would guide them through the impending chaos. A chill settled deeper in the air as they moved, the dampness clinging to their skin and fueling their unease. "It's like the fog is alive," Mary whispered, glancing nervously into the swirling mist that enveloped them. "What if it knows our fears?" Elizabeth met her gaze, the familiar warmth of sisterhood igniting her resolve. "Then we'll have to show it our courage," she replied, her voice steady despite the shadows dancing around them. "We are stronger than this darkness, Mary. We will face it, together." The alley narrowed, the weight of the night pressing against their shoulders, yet with each heartbeat, they felt the bond between them fortify, a shield against the encroaching dread. "Let's just keep moving forward," Mary said, clarity emerging from the depths of her uncertainty, and Elizabeth nodded, their determination entwined as they stepped boldly into the darkness. As they pressed onward, the shadows grew thicker, curling around them like a living creature intent on pulling them back into fear. "What if we're being watched?" Mary's voice trembled, echoing the paranoia creeping into her thoughts as she scanned the dark edges of the alley. Elizabeth felt a chill run down her spine but steadied her breath, understanding the fragility of their situation. "It's just the night playing tricks on your mind," she whispered, yet even as she said it, she couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that they were not alone. Together, they pushed forward, each step weighed down by the oppressive atmosphere, yet fueled by the light they sought ahead. "No matter what we face, we have to believe in one another," Elizabeth encouraged, a flicker of defiance shining in her eyes. Mary nodded silently, gripping Elizabeth's hands tighter, drawing strength from their bond as they maneuvered through the deepening shadows, propelling them further into the mysterious night. A sudden rustling echoed around them, a reminder that the dark held secrets they could not yet fathom. "Did you hear that?" Mary asked, her voice barely a whisper, resolving into a tremble as panic grasped at her throat. Elizabeth immediately halted, her heart racing, every instinct urging her to pull Mary closer. Just the wind, I'm sure, she attempted to reassure, though doubt lurked in her own mind. We must keep our resolve. Fear is a shadow itself, trying to lure us off our path. Steeling herself, she took a deep breath, forcing calmness into her tone while searching the bleakness around them for signs of danger. Look ahead, Mary. There's light. That's where we need to be. Mary forced her gaze towards the distant luminescence, feeling the flicker of courage slowly seep into her veins as they ready to face whatever emerged from the lurking shadows. Together, remember, Elizabeth added, nodding slightly, and with gentle determination, they resumed their steps, hearts synchronized, ready to brave the uncertainties that lay ahead. No matter what happens, we'll always have each other, Elizabeth declared, her voice barely above a whisper as they maneuvered through the thickening fog. Mary turned to her sister, searching for reassurance in her eyes, the warmth of their bond shining brightly amid the encroaching shadows. I believe that, she replied, determination creeping into her tone. We have to be brave. With newfound courage, they pressed onward, the light ahead guiding their way through the swirling night, ready to face whatever awaited them. As the first light of dawn began to break through the remnants of the night, the sisters emerged from the oppressive darkness, still holding tight to each other. They looked back at the shadows they had confronted, and a sense of liberation washed over them. Fear had lost its grip. Together, they took their first breath of the new day, ready to forge ahead into a brighter future.